Well, it's finally over. The Swedish election is over. And I have to say, I wish the results were a little bit different. Like, the Swedish Democratic Party, or Swedish Democrats, I wish they got a way larger vote than they actually had. They're currently third in the parliament, which I think they call it the Riksdag. I can't really recall. If I butchered just the parliament name, I'm sorry. I'm not really known for knowing much of any Swedish vocabulary. So again, I'm sorry, but I don't think it matters at this point of how many seats the Swedish Democrats managed to win. While they did manage to win over 20, they managed to take off a good portion of the seats from both the moderate party and the Social Democrats. Which, by the way, the Social Democrats are currently the majority, or well, currently the those in power who control the reins of the government. In fact, they've been the ones who have been calling the shots, especially on immigration. And the reason is because of this election, the results of this election, the Swedish Democrats now have the upper hand when it comes to political power, especially in their parliament. Because no party, no alliance has a majority rule, not a simple majority. They have at least maybe 40%, both the center-left coalition and the center-right, but they don't have enough in order to get things done. Now, I have made my criticisms about parliamentary elections before, but it is obvious, or well, it makes it more obvious in parliamentary elections that a coalition is obviously established. We have the same thing sort of in the United States. However, you don't really see it. It's more behind the scenes. Kind of like how the Republican Party, it tries to continually stick together with the establishment Republicans, the Tea Party Republicans, the Libertarians, those kinds of people. Without those people, the Republican Party would easily collapse into nothingness. Hell, it would be probably in the same state as the Democratic Party right now. So either way, a need for a coalition is incredibly important, and that is definitely shown in the Swedish election. Because the Swedish Democrats now have the upper hand to decide decide what kind of laws can be carried out. They're needed in order for this government to function. Because again, it's going to be ending up sort of like Italy's election, like a Hun parliament. And if the Swedish government wants to get anything done, they need the Swedish Democrats on their side, whether they like them or not. Now, I do not expect the center-left coalition to do anything about it. In fact, they actually stated outright that they won't even consider getting into a coalition with them. And that's the same thing for the center-right alliance coalition as well. But here's the difference. The center-right coalition actually said they are willing to support the Swedish Democrats on issues that they align on. This includes immigration. And that's a big important factor because now with the left becoming the minority in the Swedish government, they no longer have that kind of power they don't have any power to allow open borders and that sort of thing. They don't. They do have government positions and even control of the prime minister, but that's about it. It's basically of the right-wing coalition and the Swedish Democrats, basically the opposition that holds the control. I know they said outright before that the center-right coalition is not planning on actually getting the Swedish Democrats to join with them, but that could easily change. I mean, again, they have similar political views on a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think this is actually a good thing. Admittedly, I wish that the vote, or well, the number of seats that the Swedish Democrats won was a lot higher. I really admit that. In fact, I was hoping that they maybe would become either second or first, the largest party within their parliament. But apparently not. They're currently third. However, like other than the fact that they now have more political leverage in order to get stuff done, like on immigration, on deportations, and that sort of thing, they have basically increased their vote share. I recall several YouTubers saying that originally it was around 15 or 14% before this election. In the last election, it was around that number which they got in terms of votes. But now it has increased to 18. This is a sign that shows that the Swedish Democrats, the idea of populism and the idea of nationalism is taking hold in Sweden. But it's also giving another it's making another kind of another impact that is clearly felt. It's clearly making the left, the left side of the political spectrum in Sweden realize that something is wrong, that they're losing these voters, and unless they do something about it, which is to give in to their demands, probably to close the borders and to increase deportations, then they're going to continue to lose vote shares. In fact, if I recall, the moderate party lost 13 seats, and the Social Democrats lost 12. Just only one behind the moderates. One. While, again, the Swedish Democrats managed to win at least 20 seats. 20! That alone is amazing. And and again, it's showing how much of a political transition Sweden is going through. People are now starting to wake up not only to the problems of mass immigration, but also to the change in of their identity as a Swede, as well as the whole leftist ideology, especially when it comes to multiculturalism and other stuff. So yeah, I think that this election, although it is this shows the Swedish Democrats in third place, this is a major victory for the right. This is a major victory for Sweden itself. Now, I cannot say what's going to happen in the future. What I do know is that the Swedish Democrats are definitely going to be focusing heavily on crime and immigration. After all, that is what they were campaigning for throughout the country. Because after all, Sweden is totally plagued by all this immigration and all this crime as a result. So that is definitely, I think, what they're going to focus on. Whether or not they succeed in that, I don't know. But hopefully, they will. And hopefully, they will make Sweden great again. My name is Noah Mian on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below. I will love to read them. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe.